guy who claimed to be a black belt, dude, Javi took him down, and like the guy had no training, dude, zero. He just laid flat on his back, and he tapped really quick. Javi pounded him a couple times. He just tapped, and it was over. It's like, what the fuck was that?
That's an interesting story, but a much more interesting story is the other guy that we know that claimed to be a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt that really didn't know anything, that turned out to be a murderer.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a dude we knew. His fake name was Rafael Torre.
Yeah.
But his real name, what was his real name?
Damn, I don't remember. But he told people he taught karate. He did karate his whole life, and he taught karate. And
he told people he was a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
But this guy, Eddie, was hanging around with this guy. He was doing.
He said he was half Brazilian.
He said he was doing a website, right?
He was a writer. No, he was a writer. He was probably one of the most popular journalists back then on the underground. I mean, Rafael Torre was all over the underground. It was 2000. It was still in the dark ages. So it was easy for a guy to bust up. And he was on speed all the time. I didn't know this until, years later.
So he would work hard.
Dude, he would always have shit, and Pride loved him. He always had reports. He always had interviews. He was always
all speeded up.
Oh, dude, he was probably one of the top 3 writers in all of MMA.
Well, I remember he was very productive, and he would do, he was doing his version of gonzo journalism for MMA, like asking MMA fighters if they like anal sex. It was like being real crazy.
Yeah, that was my shit.
So it turned out that this dude wasn't really a black belt at all, and and he wasn't half Brazilian. Yeah, it was all crazy. We were driving, and Eddie had this confrontation with him on the phone. To make a long story short, homeboy winds up killing some dude, strangling him to death. The husband of this chick that he's banging, and he winds up going to jail for it. I mean, he was a murderer. He got this guy
for insurance money, dude.
Yeah,
Really?
The wife of this guy that he strangled. So they decided to set this up, and he choked the guy to death.
Yeah,
killed the guy with a rear naked choke.
How ironic is it that his black belt wasn't legit, but he killed someone with a rear naked choke?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So it was
like that. Poor guy, he
did
killed.
The job. You know what I'm saying?
Poor guy, he killed, didn't train at all, and probably didn't even see it coming. He just jumped him and choked the shit out of him. Can you imagine, Matt? Man, your fucking wife is banging some other dude, and that dude comes to your house and kills you.
He didn't go to his house. He lured him into
his gym.
Yep, to his gym.
Yeah. Fuck. And
I testified on that trial.
Did you really?
Yes.
You had to go to court?
I had to go to court and just finger him. And
they called me, the cops called me because I called Gerald once, and when I was talking to Gerald on the phone was being tapped. And Gerald and I are talking about, his, possibility of him fighting in the UFC, who's he want to fight, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And Rafael Torre's name comes up. And I'm like, what's going on with that dude? And so Gerald was like being tapped. And he was like talking to all these different people about it. And then, everybody that he talked to on the phone, they had to talk to the cops. But I didn't really know anything. I didn't know the guy. I just knew the guy through Eddie. Yeah. Fortunately, I wouldn't have to fucking go to court about that.
Yeah.
So what'd you have to say? Yeah, that guy's fake. He's a liar.
Yeah, basically, is that Rafael Torre?
Yeah.
I forget the questions they made me ask, but dude, I hung out with that. Like, he was always brought in on whatever show I was commentating, whether it was King of the Cage or Pride or even the Too Hot to Handle. He was always the reporter who's going to blow up. He's
the
like
Too Hot to Handle was in Holland, right?
Yeah, that's the one I talked about with Boss.
Rutten.
Yeah, it was him and Boss, dude.
Yeah.
And he was so busy, he was so amped up on speed. He always had articles, and to blow up shows, you bring Rafael Torre, and he'll blow it all up all over the internet. Right.
Always on speed, huh?
Yep.
How'd you find out he was always on speed?
It came out later, like in the trial.
Do you know Ari took what is it called? Adderall? Took an Adderall, says it's the fucking greatest thing ever for getting things done. He said he just cleaned out his whole house.
It's like speed, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that? Why does this speed help you get organized?
How does that work? How does it give you fucking energy? What the fuck? You feel like you could do anything. You just want to paint the fucking house. You want to go to college. Let's drive to fucking Louisiana. You know what I mean?
Adderall shit now.
Is it bad for you? Is it bad for you?
Dude, come on. It's got to be.
It's got to be, right?
It's got to be.
What comes up?